So in today's video, we're going to talk about what does the Bible say about family conflict. If you've seen my previous video about what does the Bible say about when families kind of turn against you, this will be a really helpful part to that conversation. How should we deal with family conflict? How should we avoid family conflict when it does arrive? Let's dive in. And just keep in mind, as we go, I'm just a guy, I'm just a Christian, I love the Bible, I love Jesus, but don't take my word for anything that's going on. Listen to the words of the text and see what you think, and then also see if you can feel the Holy Spirit witnessing to you. Like, what is the right interpretation here? I believe that the Spirit can witness to your heart of truth and can teach us things to our minds, to our hearts, so keep that in mind as we go. Starting out in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stirs up anger. We should do our best to this is just like wise counsel right here, to turn away from harsh words and to give gentle answers when there's conflict, because that will turn away anger. It's simple, it's straightforward. Be gentle, and avoid harsh words. Let's go to chapter 17. Proverbs has a lot of good stuff. Chapter 17, verse 14, here it is. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam. So drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. You know, you think of a dam and it's like the second there's a breach, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and then it's going to break, it's going to flood the river, it's going to cause a bunch of issues. It might just be better to drop it. We're coming off of the holidays right here when I'm filming this, and we definitely had some moments, you know, people disagreeing in the family, and it would create this really uncomfortable situation. It would have been better just, guys, just drop it, just move on, right? Now, I have to share. One I would always share with my mother. She hated it, but, you know, it's in the scriptures, so I gotta... It's Proverbs 21, verse 9. It's better to live on the corner of a roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife. If there's family conflict coming from a quarrelsome wife, just go take a break out on the roof. You know, take some space. Space is healthy. I think there's also one down here. Verse 19, it's better to live in the desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. You know, sometimes family conflict, best approach, take a break, take a walk. I'm sure it goes for nagging husbands too, but that's always one we laughed at growing up. All right, let's look at Romans. Get serious here. Romans chapter 12, verse 18. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written. Be friends with everyone. Be at peace with everyone if you can. What's interesting is we read in the last video that Christ says, I came not to bring peace but a sword. He said division might happen. Your friends and your family might leave you, and you got to love God more than me. But it doesn't mean we're trying to make that happen. He just meant that he came to bring a sword, the sword of truth, that might hurt. Here, it's saying the opposite, right? That tells me that yes, truth might hurt, but we're not trying to cause truth. We're actually trying to be at peace, and that's the counsel God gives us. Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. This is a very, very Christian teaching. It's all over the Sermon on the Mount. It's all over the New Testament. Forgive others as God forgave you. Before you go and ask for forgiveness, forgive others. If you're going to pray for forgiveness, you know, be sure that you forgive others, because otherwise it's like you're being hypocritical. We want to forgive. Forgiveness is going to bring that peace. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. There's also this pattern in the Sermon on the Mount, right, where Christ is teaching forgiveness. He's teaching love your enemies, pray for your enemies. Like it's so opposite than eye for an eye and what they had before. He's saying no, forgive and pray. Forgiveness is this gift where if we're able to find it, if we're able to let go, we don't have to carry the burden anymore. We can forgive. That's a beautiful Christian teaching. And we'll end in Matthew 18, verse 15. If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their flaw just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take one or two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If they still refuse to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen to the church, then treat them as you would a pagan or a tax collector. It's wise. Right? First, like, don't correct people in public. That's not the way to do it. The way to deal with conflict like this, if someone does need to be corrected, a brother or sister, whether that's in the church or like your actual family, it's like, no, take them aside. Like, you know, I really didn't appreciate it when you did this. I think you went too far. You take them aside, you talk to them alone. If that doesn't work, then you bring a few people and be like, no, dude, they noticed it too. Like, come on, like just step down or whatever. In the mouth of three witnesses, that's wise counsel. And then you maybe the church or maybe, right, these other steps. And then at some point you just have to treat them like a pagan or a tax collector. And maybe you write them off at that point. What does it mean to write them off? I don't know. Maybe just setting the boundary. I hope you get what I'm saying and why I find that humorous. I'm gonna go tell my siblings that they're being pagans and tax collectors after this one. If you would like to watch another video, how the Bible tells us to teach our children, and it's a really great way of learning more about this. Like, how do you teach? How do you correct? How do you deal with this? Teaching the gospel to your kids. You can watch that here.